Hello and welcome to my video. Thanks for watching this video, whether you came from YouTube or from LinkedIn or from any other place. In this video I'm going to present to you about different analytics use cases which may be very helpful for many people who are involved in, let's say, marketing analytics or let's say digital marketing or any other similar field involving marketing. Mainly this presentation is focused for in-house marketing teams and digital marketing agencies who have clients who need some sort of analytics implementation involving GA4, GTM, Bigquery, Looker Studio. So let's get right into the presentation and let's go to the next slide. This is kind of like a general architecture of analytics implementation that we work regularly on. I am a digital analytics consultant and I have worked for many clients where I have implemented this architecture over here. You can see the first of all we need some kind of a analytics tool, one of analytics tool which will analyze the behavior of website users or app users. The tool that I am familiar and I'm mostly my expertise lies in is GA4, Google Analytics 4, and most of the people involved in marketing use this GA4 tool, and maybe you have also heard of this tool, maybe you have used this tool by yourself, and it's a very important and very easy to set up tool for beginners and the use case of this and Google Analytics 4 is vast and it can be used in various different ways. I will explain to you in a little bit. So this is one of the very important tools in my architecture, and another one is Google Tag Manager. Let's say you have a website and you have connected a GA4 tool to your website and you need some custom conversion tracking or custom event tracking. Let's say you have an e-commerce website and you need let's say you need to track some custom events like add to cart, view item, and purchase, and some of those other events. GA4 does not automatically track those events, so we need to do some setup using data layer implementation. I think some of you may have also done this kind of implementation, but this is kind of like a simple architecture where our data is transferred from your GTM configuration to GA4. Not only GA4, you can transfer from GTM to other sources like Google Ads, Meta Ads, and other different sources. The possibilities are endless using GTM. GTM is a Google Tag Manager, is a website tags, scripts, and some of those things we manage using Google Tag Manager. A little bit more advanced use case of this is that using GA4 we can send the data and we can stream the data to Bigquery. It is a data warehouse, and this is kind of like a more advanced way of building analytics implementation. And with using Bigquery, the possibilities are endless. I mean, we get all the raw data inside Bigquery where we can do all sort of things. All of these implementation techniques and all of this data collection can be visualized using tools like Looker Studio, Power BI. This is kind of like a simple architecture where web analytics data or app analytics data is retrieved from website and send it to analytics tool like GA4 using Google Tag Manager, and also to a data warehouse like Bigquery from GA4. In the next slide, I'm going to explain to you about some specific use cases in analytics implementation which many of the analytics consultant or agencies or marketing professional miss and may not have used this kind of implementation. So I will show you in just a second. One of the most important topics or implementation techniques in analytics is attribution model. First of all, let's look at what is an attribution model. Attribution model is a simple definition over here. Is an assigning conversions to specific channels. So let's say there are 100 purchase events, and the attributions are assigned for 25 to organic traffic, and for 50 to Google Ads, and for 25 to Meta Ads. But it sounds pretty simple, it looks pretty simple, but it's very complicated right now. I will talk to you about the current problems in attribution model in the market right now. The current problems in the market are, the first and the most important one is bias reporting tools. Let's say you ran $1,000 campaign in Google Ads, and you use Google Ads says like you got $2,000-3,000 more in revenue. Let's say your return on ad spend is 2-3 times, for example. But Google Ads tends to provide, let's say, more conversions and more, it tries to, let's say, be biased and say more conversions came from Google Ads. Mainly this problem arises when there is a, let's say, the purchase journey is not quite that simple. Let's say a user comes to your website and user generally does not make a purchase right away. Let's say they need some level of understanding, they need some time to make the purchase, so the purchase won't happen in just one session. It needs a couple of more sessions to make the purchase. So let's say a user came from organic traffic, organic Google search for first time in the first source, original source or a first touch medium. They come from Google Ads, Google search, and then after Google Ads campaign, they saw the campaign and they came to the site and they make the purchase. But Google Ads would say that it came from Google Ads, but there wouldn't be any conversion assigned to organic traffic. This is one of the main issues which many advertisers and many marketing agency would face. So this is one of the main first and the most important problem right now. And the second most important problem in the current market is many of these two attribution model does not provide the whole picture. Let's say when the conversion journey is with 3 or 4 more different sources. Let's say first of all user came from organic source, and then they came from direct source, and then they came from Facebook, or they came from Instagram. There may be 3-4 different sessions where the user came from different sources. Then we need to identify those journeys as well, and we need to make sure that every single source is touched upon. So this kind of a whole picture of a whole purchase journey cannot, there is a big gap in the current market where this is not being addressed and this is not being utilized enough. So this is one of the second most problem. And the third one is wrong implementation. I've seen maybe more than 50 clients implementation work, and many of them are pretty much many are good as well, but some of them are pretty wrong, and which would mainly affect in a lot of different aspects, whether be in business decisions, or let's say advertisement, or let's say distributing advertisement cost to different campaigns and that sort of things. So wrong implementation is another big problem that I've seen across a lot of my clients. To address all the problems, I have created a new custom attribution models which is very helpful to provide an unbiased opinion and an unbiased source of truth for your conversion actions like purchase, or maybe for leads. It can be used for leads as well. So I will go to my next slide and explain to you what are the solutions that I have prepared for these current problems in the market of attribution models. I have prepared a solution to create a custom attribution model which is unbiased, and I will explain to you how I created this solution step by step. So let's look at this. At the first step, I have prepared some script which can be injected into your website and creates first party cookies which will store your attribution values, such as you can see in the screen right here. The first touch source, the first touch medium, you can see other referral, and last touch source, last touch medium is organic, Google. These are the kinds of cookies that I have created, which are first party cookies, and you can store values of the attribution parameters in these cookies. I will show you in a live website right now. This is my site, and when we go to the inspect an application over here, you can see there are a couple of parameters, cookie values over here first touch medium, first touch source, last touch source, last touch medium. These are the custom cookies, custom first party cookies which I have built and which I can inject into any such site using custom JavaScript, and this will store the value, and we will extract this value. Now we will extract this value and add these values to each conversion events. I will show you in more the next step of this presentation. So next up, I have prepared a app script which will, let's say someone made a purchase in your website, then there is a purchase event in Google Tag Manager. We will create a custom, I have created a custom app script which will extract the data of purchase event and send this data to Google Sheet along with the variables like last source, last medium, last campaign. I will show you in one of my clients Google Sheet. Here you can see that there are original source, original medium, original campaign, last source, last medium, last campaign, and which contains all the values including the source name, campaign name, and all the things, including other details are also, we can add other details as well. You can see over here whether the customer is a new customer, whether they are logged in or logged out, visitor ID, user ID, transaction ID, value, conversion value, the payment type. A lot of things I have included in here, and we can create a new dashboard using these parameters and this Google Sheet, which will be unbiased and provides, let's say, multiple attribution models. First one would be original source and the second one would be last source, and we can also do a more complex analysis as well using, let's say, we can also build a different attribution model where all the purchase journeys can be included. Right on this method only provides two attribution models, the first touch and the last touch. And to, let's say, create more complex attribution models where every single purchase journey, where maybe there may be 3-4 different conversions, 3-4 different sessions where different sources are involved, let's say Google, Meta, Direct, or LinkedIn or Pinterest. Some of those sources are mixed up. Then I have also prepared a second solution which is a quite advanced solution and which requires Bigquery integration with Google GA4 data, Google Analytics 4 data. And in this solution, it's kind of like the concept is similar. We are sending the parameters values from GTM to Google Analytics and then to Bigquery. So the parameters are over here. You can see this is one of my clients screenshot. You can see over here there are parameters values over here, but in this case we can let's say create custom queries using SQL and create those customer journeys that I talked about, multiple customer journeys where 3-4 different sources are involved. We can create those kinds of complex attribution models using Bigquery, but we can create a simple, or it's not a simple, but it's a intermediate level attribution model without using Bigquery, only using Google Tag Manager, using this technique where we send custom parameters, custom attribution parameters using cookies, and then extract those attribution parameters and put them inside Google Sheet and attach to a conversion event with transaction ID, value, and we can create a Google Looker Studio dashboard without any bias, and which will provide a different source, a different truth about all the purchase events. And I have seen this is kind of a better solution than relying only on Google Ads conversion data, or only on Meta Ads, or only on Google Analytics for conversion data. In many cases, let's say Google Analytics 4 will favor Google over Meta. It's in the name itself we can see the biasness: Google Analytics, Google Ads, and Meta. So Google will obviously favor its tools over the third-party tools like Meta. So this solution provides unbiased truth to all the conversion events inside your website. Attribution is one big part of the analytics implementation, but there are other important parts as well. So let's now for the next part of this presentation we'll go inside funnel analysis. So let's go to funnel analysis. The best way to understand a customer journey is using funnel analysis. As you can see in the screenshot that I have added two different screenshots. So first of all, we'll look at this whole website customer journey. As you can see, using this funnel we can analyze how are the each step in the funnel doing. Let's say the first step would be the product viewed or view item count over here in the screenshot, and then next step would be add to cart, then the next step would be begin checkout, and the next step would be purchase. And we can see the drop off between every single step over here, and this kinds of report would help us analyze the customer journey throughout the website. And let's say we can find any issues, whether there may be in product page or in add to cart phase or in let's say begin checkout, or let's say there are high drop off from begin checkout to purchase, then we can know there is some issues in the checkout process. We need to maybe change the checkout process or maybe add couple of more payment methods. This kinds of analysis, this kinds of let's say problems can be found using this type of customer journey funnel over here. And for the next funnel over here, this is kind of like maybe you already have done this kind of analysis or created this kinds of report, but this is kind of like a more advanced level of funnel analysis, where we analyze a funnel in each specific page. Let's say a landing page. As you can see in the screenshot, this is one of my clients reports that I have added as a screenshot over here. You can see the contact page funnel. The steps would be the total users who visited the contact page, and the next step would be users who engaged. Let's say who stayed on the site for more than 20 seconds, something like that. We can create our own metrics over here, users who engaged. And the next step would be users who either clicked a button or clicked a form or something like that. And the next step would be who then became a lead. This is kind of one funnel, and the same funnel is applied in landing page as well. This is for contact page, this is landing page, and this was for about page. So this kind of in-page funnels would help us identify any issues with a landing page and helps to improve conversion rate. So this kind of analysis is very helpful for anyone who is working in, let's say, advertisement or let's say in-house marketing team. So to conclude funnel analysis, we have these two different types of funnels, and these are very helpful. One for to understand the whole customer journey, and the another for to understand the landing page user behavior and to improve the landing page. So these two have two different use cases and are very helpful for any marketing individual or in-house marketing team, or let's say marketing agency. So we conclude funnel analysis over here. Now we go to the next part, which is user engagement. This is user engagement. There are many user engagement reports that we can build. For the sake of this example, I have used a blog engagement report, where you can see the blog post over here and the views and total users, click count, session duration, this kind, and also the blog engagement based on the device category, on browser category, country. So this is one example of a user engagement analysis that I have created, but we can create much more on different aspects of user behavior as well. Let's say if you want to analyze the specific landing page analysis engagement report, we can create that as well. That's not a problem. This is just one example of user engagement analysis, how we can create the engagement reports, and we can add more metrics over here. This is just an example. So now we go to the next part of the presentation, which will be the more advanced and custom analysis. This is using Bigquery. I have used for to create this kinds of custom and advanced level of analysis. I generally use Bigquery. So first of all, these are some use cases which would be easier for anyone to understand the importance and the level of complexities and the kind of report that we can build using Bigquery. So let's see in the over here, the first section is session quality. One of my clients needed to understand whether the quality of traffic coming from Google Ads were high quality or some there may be whether the quality of traffic is improving over the time or not. They wanted to analyze that, so I have created this custom session quality metrics over here. So I have used this, this is defined by myself, and we can change anything which would fit the business needs, and we can create our own metric. Basically we can create our own metrics and we can define what are good sessions, what are bad sessions, what are medium sessions. For the sake of this client, I have used this matrix over here. Event count less than or equal to 2, that would be bad sessions, and event count greater than or equal to 7, or click count is greater than equal to 7 with no key events like add to cart, begin checkout, that would be medium sessions. And any sessions which involves key events like add to cart, begin checkout, or purchase would be much better. Those kinds of sessions are good sessions, and I have created this. But first of all, they needed to understand whether they are improving the quality of sessions every day or not, and something like that, daily analysis. So here is the date and the quality of sessions, how many were medium sessions, good sessions, bad sessions, and this is for date, and this is for a specific Google Ads campaign. So they wanted to analyze which campaigns were generating good traffic to the website. So this is kind of that. We can build these kinds of analysis using Bigquery, combining Bigquery with GA4 data, and we can do a lot of more things. And the other example over here is, this is little bit more complex over here. This is one of my more custom work where the client has changed the category. Let's say previously the category was different, but later on they updated the category names, and they wanted to analyze the item level analysis, the product level analysis of their e-commerce site, and let's say with new category. This is kind of like a more custom work where we extracted data from website and added to Bigquery, and we needed more data from back end of the website CRM, and we uploaded that to Bigquery, and also added the new category and the custom defined category which client has requested. We also needed to add that inside Bigquery and combine all those in a table and visualize this new category level report over here. So these are some kinds of use cases that I have worked on. These are some custom reports that we can build using Bigquery, and Bigquery is one of the most important thing for this new digital analytics period. Now everyone is using Bigquery, and the cost is also not that much right now. For this client, the daily user is about 10 to 15,000 daily users, and basically we don't have any monthly cost right now. The cost is basically zero, and Bigquery provides $200 of one-time credit, and basically this client wouldn't approach this, the cost wouldn't go above $200 in more than a year. So basically for to optimize the cost in that level, we need some expertise, which I can do that. I can optimize the cost and make sure the Bigquery cost wouldn't be that much. So for using Bigquery, the cost wouldn't be that much of an issue for, let's say, small to medium level businesses. As the amount of users or the count of users increases, the cost would increase by that. But for small level or medium sized businesses, the cost would be very minimal if you know how to optimize the queries. And the possibilities of using Bigquery and creating this level of custom analysis is very important for businesses. So I recommend heavily, mainly for small and medium sized businesses, to immediately upload the data from GA4 to Bigquery. So these are some use cases for analytics implementation which I have done, and which may be helpful for you or to understand what are the use cases of Bigquery, what are the more advanced attribution models which I can implement. These are some of the things that I have done and which might be helpful for you as well. So let's move to the next part of this presentation, which is kind of summarizing what are the basic building blocks of the analytics implementation. So first of all, to create these kinds of report, we need a GA4 property with no issues, as we will be using GA4 property to send data to BigQuery in most cases. So we need a proper GA4 property, and we need to create those reports in Looker Studio. If the BigQuery is not available, we need to use GA4 data as a source, so the GA4 property shouldn't have any problems or should not have any issues. And the second part is proper implementation in Google Tag Manager. We need to collect all the necessary data that we need to create this level of reports. So GTM is also a big part of, is maybe probably the most important aspects in creating a good analytics implementation. And the next part is, for more custom and advanced analysis, we need a data warehouse or a data lake such as BigQuery. So these are the building blocks of analytics implementation. So to conclude this presentation, if you need any services related to, let's say, GA4, GTM, or event tracking, or consent mode, or Looker Studio table, or marketing data warehouse, you can contact me through LinkedIn, or you can send me a message in you can send me an email, or you can directly go to my website craftsmarketing.com and schedule a call with me, a free consulting call. That's not a problem. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. If you are interested in any of the things that I have shown you, any of the use cases, let's say attribution or something like that, you can hit me up in the LinkedIn or somewhere else. I will be happy to share my knowledge. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Have a good day.